another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin. She's Nikki.
Hello.
And Nick, we have another insufficient friend joining us this week.
Yes.
Carmen, another friend is joining us. Mm-hmm. Carmen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent.
Good. How was your guys' weeks?
It was not bad. It was a little bit of a struggle.
Struggle?
I feel like work is always up and down.
Yeah.
You know, there's always highs and lows, good weeks
true.
and bad weeks. This one was more of like a pull yourself through it type of week.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine.
Okay.
How was your guys' weeks?
Mine was good.
Mm-hmm.
I had good bird walks in the morning. I've become obsessed with a bird app, and so there's been all kinds of birds in the neighborhood.
That's cool. I didn't know they had those, but that makes sense.
Yeah. So when I walk Maisie in the morning, I have been having that app going this week, and I think one morning I heard 14 different birds. I captured 14 different, and I must share that the most fun one was a yellow-rumped warbler.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a funny
They have an
name.
app for everything.
They really do have an app for everything. That's funny.
Yeah. So after I saw that, the rest of the walk, all I could think of is, they're called the Rump Shaker.
Okay, yeah. Mine was.
How about you, Kevin?
It was fine. It was one of those just kind of. I mean, there wasn't anything crazy that happened. It was just kind of a long week. But you know, everything was. It was fine. It wasn't anything special. But
Yeah.
But yeah. So Carmen, we know Carmen from working at the bank.
Yeah.
Which we have a lot of friends from the bank.
Best trainer ever.
Yes. So we've worked with Carmen for a while. And Carmen, I talked to you about this the other day, and you said you've recently gotten into or learned more of the power of like meditative breathing, which I have never been much of one to do that because
That does not surprise me.
yeah, it's just not my thing. But you know.
I love it. Yeah.
But what have you found with it?
Well, I totally understand your perspective, because when I first started reading about it, I was like, oh, this is hokey. And then when I first started thinking I was feeling some benefits, I was like, oh, now you're hokey. So I totally get the lack of interest. But I don't know. Angela several years ago bought me this book about just meditation because, you know, you go through stressful points in life, and she's like, oh, maybe this is something that you could find some benefit in.
Yeah.
And so I started reading through it, and then it was like bizarre because I was like, okay, maybe I've already done some of this kind of stuff, but I didn't realize it was linked to meditation.
Okay. Yeah.
But like one of the things that really proved it to me is, have you all ever heard of white coat syndrome? Like you go to the doctor and your blood pressure goes up, so you're going to have higher blood pressure readings than any other time.
I have that happen all the time. Yes,
You do?
that is something that happens to me every time.
I haven't heard of it, but I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it happens to me some of the times, and other times it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so after reading this book, I'm like, I'm going to try this the next time I go to the doctor's office. And so while they were taking my blood pressure, I was like doing this deep breathing, and my blood pressure was like super. So I don't know. It's like
that is one of the I guess positive side effects or things that meditative breathing helps with that I read about, because when I was in undergrad during college, so like 7-8 years ago now, feels like so long ago. My therapist recommended it, and I was like, well, I came to you for therapy. I don't need to breathe. But it actually really helped. and then, so I didn't even think about the medical side of it. I was just thinking of like the anxiety calming, you know, that side of it.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like I originally started reading the book or doing some of the measures for that. But after reading it, I was like, I'm going to test this out. And I don't know, being from banking for all the years I've been there, you think of measurements and like actual values. And that was something that I could put a value to and be like, this actually had a measurable effect on me.
Yeah,
and so I think that's part of what really drove it home to me, that there are benefits.
Yeah, it's like a mini experiment. So how often is this something you do every day, a couple times a week, or just as needed? How are you with it?
Yeah. So like everything in life, it's really easy to kind of forget about things or put it to the side, think you don't have time for it. So not on a daily basis, but sometimes I'll go through periods where I use it, even if I'm not necessarily thinking I'm stressed and need to calm down. And then other times when I am stressed, I'll be like, oh, I should try this, like when my shoulders are all sore and tense. And and it does have a measured effect for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I do it kind of on an as needed basis, but I try to do it at least once a week because I think even if you're only doing that, it's helpful. And I notice, and this is more the reading that I was doing, years ago when I started, was not so much the medical side of it, but more the anxiety side of it. And also, I didn't realize how many people feel like an emotional attachment to it, in the sense of like when you're spending that long focusing on your body, controlling your mind. I didn't realize how much like self-awareness it brings. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like you become much more aware of your thoughts, actions, and like how it influences people around you. At least that was me being me. But then I was thinking, well, everyone should do this because some people need to be more self-aware.
Yeah, this is they're very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
would you try it? Like,
I would try. I've sat there when I have had this at the doctor, like we talked about the white coat thing. When I've gone to the doctor and they're like, okay, well, because almost every time I go to the doctor now, I have to have it taken like 4 times.
Really?
Because it's like super high the first time.
Yeah, kind of all over
always.
the
place. And then they take it again later and it's fine. But I usually sit there and I will close my eyes and I will just kind of take deep breaths. And it does tend to lower it, but I don't ever seem to notice any other effects besides that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might try it, but it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not an anxious person, really.
Yeah.
So I understand the benefit, or I can comprehend the benefit that might have to it, but that's not something that fortunately for me and unfortunately for so many people to deal with it, I don't have that type of personality. I'm very just whatever.
Yeah. I wish I could be more like that, but unfortunately I can't.
I get that.
So, Carmen, I don't know about you. So I like to use like different apps, or even on Spotify, they have like 5-minute breathing sessions, and I'll do that. Like if I had a stressful meeting, you'll catch me on Spotify doing that. But Carmen, so what do you just, did you read the book and then you just kind of do it on your own? Do you use an app?
I honestly wasn't even aware there were apps. So no, I've never used an app. I use just some of the methods from that book. And then also last year I did some yoga for the first time. And of course they incorporate breathing techniques in there. Yeah. And so I love the idea of breathing into your belly and like pushing that belly muscle out. I don't know why that tickles me, but I love doing that. So it makes me happy at the same time as relaxing. So I'm like, it's just winning all over the place here.
Yeah. That's so funny. I am so bad at yoga. I have tried so many times, even like the most beginner of the beginners.
I feel like I hurt myself.
So I cannot like hold my body weight up well during some poses, but you know what I always really enjoy at the end, where you just lay on the ground and breathe.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Working for that.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I get to lay now.
Yeah. Oh, I know how to meditate breathe. This part I can do.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. That's
so after we did yoga for a couple times, because Angela and I went together for the classes, and we came home after one, and I was like, oh yeah, babies be crazy. And she's like, what? I'm like, babies be crazy. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the baby pose. Like, that's crazy. That just hurts. and, so, and apparently, I guess it's called child's pose or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought,
Baby
got in my
pose.
head it was baby. And I was just like, babies be crazy.
That's funny.
I'm like, if they're laying like that, that is not right.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's benefits to it. I've heard a lot of different things from people that do it, and I've seen, working in television, there was an anchor several years ago who had a panic attack on television, like on national TV. He had a panic attack, and he wrote a book about like his journey through meditation and how it helped him and things like that. And I heard him talk about that a few times, and he says it's really helpful, but it's just not. Again, I'm not a person that's ever had any instance like that.
Your base nervousness level is much less than mine.
Yeah, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not anything that I've looked into, but it might be something interesting.
You know what? Speaking of like panic attacks, anxiety at work, our work now, and I'm sure most big companies are like this too, because I think the bank also had this. The EAP program includes, different meditation sessions, and they're like online, and they're like lunch break type things. And I feel like I remember they were at the bank too. But I know for sure my company now does that because I use those sometimes. So,
yeah. Well, that's cool.
There's lots of ways to find different.
Yeah, that's always helpful with stuff like that. So I feel like mental health and just physical health and all that kind of stuff has become more of a thing in job places and making sure everybody is.
Yeah. Because it all ties in
part,
together.
Yeah,
if you want your employees to perform well.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Anyway, from meditative breathing to music.
Yeah.
Concerts. We have a game at the end of this, which will be fun. But Carmen, you're a music person. Do you go to concerts, or have you gone to a lot of concerts, or do you like going to concerts, or?
I definitely like going to concerts. I haven't as much in recent years, because with COVID pausing stuff, I just haven't gotten back out there and went to as many concerts. But I love a good concert where you can just really feel into the rhythm.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite one you've ever been to? Do you have a favorite?
Well, I have definitely some top favorites. I would say, like, going back several years, one of the best concerts I've ever seen was Janet Jackson.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. My best friend bought tickets for the two of us for my college graduation gift, and so we went to. I forget what the name of it is. It was an outdoor amphitheater in Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay.
It's probably changed names by now.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, it was like the epitome of a performance, because at the end, no one even thought about asking for an encore because she had done it all, and just put everything into it. It was a performance for sure.
Nice.
That's awesome. That would be fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there any that you wish you would have seen? Like either artists that don't perform anymore or have passed away or something like that? Because there's one in particular or a couple in particular that I wish I would have seen and we were planning to go see, but it didn't end up working. So.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting because the two, I have seen them both. They're both passed away, but I wish I would have seen them in different circumstances. So Aretha is my all-time favorite artist.
Okay.
Through and through favorite artist. And I got to see her at what used to be called the VP Fair in St. Louis.
Okay.
And it is now, it's around the 4th of July, and they had to change the name because it was, VP stand for Veiled Prophet. So it was a Catholic focus.
Okay.
So they changed the name of it. but it was like super, super short, and I was sitting like way back.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get to see her. I had tickets another time, and the venue went bankrupt.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see her the second time in a more full concert setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. What's the artist that you wish you would have seen?
There's two in particular. One is, so I grew up in Springfield, Missouri. And this one I could have gone to see, and I was just dumb and didn't ever do it. But I wish I would have gone to see Andy Williams, one of his Christmas shows, because I love his Christmas. Like, I love the Christmas music.
I don't know.
And
Do I know who that is?
You've heard his music, I'm sure, because he's one of the, kind of like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin-esque. He had a lot of big songs at Christmas, like the big Christmas songs. Gotcha. He didn't have... He might have had like one or two other hits besides Christmas that I would think of or you might have heard, but the Christmas was his big thing that he was always really popular. And he had a theater in Branson, like 30 minutes away from my house. I could have seen him so many times. I used to see billboards for him all the time. So that one I kind of...
Oh, he sings Moon River. I was like, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Moon River was the theater.
Yeah,
it was
I used
the name
to play
of the
that
theater
over and over.
Used to have, but so that I wish I would have seen. And then me and my dad were planning to go see Michael Jackson because he was getting ready for a tour when he died. We were going to go see that. We were planning to go see that tour because that was going to be like, it was a big thing. Like they had been working on it. Like when he died, they were working like rehearsals and everything else for it. So, and that's kind of stinks that it kind of sucks that we didn't get to go see that because we were hoping to do that. But
when he passed away, I was like 9 or 8. Like I knew it was a big thing because everyone freaked out about it. But I didn't really comprehend it until I was older.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know he was prepping for a tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was. Yeah, that was a big.
I can't think of any off the top of my head that. I mean, there's always old country singers and things like that I want to hear, but not any that. I'm like dying to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've gone to see several in the last few years, so not
I know
country people, but we have gone to see several
Carmen
artists.
knew this, because we had kind of a freak out, or you didn't have a freak out moment because you don't have anxiety. I had a freak out moment, legit, because I realized that all the old classic rock bands. They're all gonna die.
They're all gonna die. Like some of them are already dying. So
I went to like 8 concerts that year.
Yeah.
This was like the year right after COVID had gone away enough to where they started bringing that stuff back.
Yeah,
That was 2022.
We went to one on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Where it was like CNN was at the concert to do like COVID's over. Here's the big summer celebration.
But
but it was like I mean, it wasn't over, but no,
it definitely wasn't.
it was more over than what it had been in a long time. So, but yeah, that's like I love going to concerts. I've been to tons of concerts over the years, and I've always loved it. I've been lucky for my parents to have.
What did you say your first concert was again?
Styx and REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, which we saw. Did I see that with you, or I went with my parents?
You saw, you and Casey went, and then your mom was there as well.
Yeah. Carmen, do you remember what your first concert was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was at Jesse Auditorium here in town, and my parents somehow bought tickets for all of us, them, my 2 sisters, and I. We went and saw Dolly Parton and Mac Davis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have seen Dolly. I'm really happy that in my lifetime I got to see her.
Yeah.
Because it was a couple of years ago she came to Kansas City. Yeah.
The really
I'm
funny
jealous.
thing about that is I was such a young girl at the point that I was more enamored with Mac Davis because he played the spoons.
Yeah.
And that was like so cool to me.
It is cool. It really is. That's so funny. Both of those are like really cool answers. Mm-hmm. Mine was the Cheetah Girls.
Hey,
so it's not as cool of a first concert.
I mean,
but for me it was, though, at the time. I had a jacket. I wore it to school every day with the Cheetah Girls on it. Like, I thought I was cool. But now when I say that, it's not nearly as cool as Dolly or Styx and Aria. So, you got me beat there.
it's where your heart was.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
cool.
That and Hannah Montana, those were my first 2 concerts.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Styx and REO was definitely my first one. I can't remember what the second one would have been because they've all jumbled together in like the timelines. Like I remember seeing most of these people, but I don't remember the timelines or whatever. So it's because it's all kind of all over the place anymore.
Yeah, and it's so hard to remember because with places like, Kansas City, St. Louis, and even Columbia, when they have like the summer music festivals, like I've seen way more people than I think I even remember with all the summer concerts and things like that. So
Yeah. I never did any of those type things.
you didn't?
Like
I
those-
always went to like the country ones or,
Yeah.
Power and Light in Kansas City always has
I'm-
stuff going on. So
I actually talked to somebody about this the other day at the television station because she goes to Coachella every year.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
I've never been.
I'm not a festival person. There's too much going on and I want a seat. Like, give me a seat. I'm going to be there for like 3 or 4 hours and watch the show and then I'm going to go home and that's it.
I would have to be really passionate about who's playing to do that. To sit through all the people and everything going on. So yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a festival. But
I know I haven't. Carmen, have you ever been to a festival or a music festival or anything like that? Have you ever been to one of those?
Yeah, I went to Lilith Fair one year. In the heyday of that festival.
Yeah.
And then in St. Louis, they used to have a Reggae Sunsplash festival every
cool.
year.
That
And
actually
so
sounds fun.
my friends and I went several years, and I graduated before my core group of friends by, in some cases, just a semester, others like a year.
Mhm.
So the whole time while we were there, I'd be like, oh, wait a minute. Cha-ching, let me check in because I'm on vacation getting paid.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't, fighting the people, like I've been to Arrowhead, so like 60,000 people, it's fighting the people isn't the problem. It is, the issue for me is one, I want a place to sit.
Yeah.
For that long. And 2, there's always so many bands and so many things going on that I probably wouldn't care about enough of them to justify the
You want to
price
know
difference.
how I know I'm finally growing up? Is I now think about, oh, what am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? Is my stomach going to be upset? Like, those are the things I'm thinking about when someone says they want to do something that lasts all day long.
Yeah.
So I think I'm 90.
Oh, man. Okay.
But speaking of festivals,
Yes.
so we have a game to play.
We
and
do.
It might cause some arguments.
Oh, it will. I have a
So-
question before we get in. Before
Yeah.
explain it, and then I have a question and an idea. So
Yeah. So my idea for the game was to think of a music festival roster. So 5 bands or artists from any generation, dead or alive. And then, so the order of the roster, and then we all judge each other based on not only how much, crowd we think it would draw and likability, but also would those bands and artists be able to work together? And like, would the music festival flow smoothly?
Okay.
What's
So-
your question?
I have a question, then I have an idea. So, question
Okay.
first is, if I pick an artist,
Yeah.
do I get all of their catalog or just like what they were with that? So, like, I'm going to use an example for you. Is like One Direction.
Yeah.
Do I get Harry Styles and Niall stuff individually, or is it just One Direction?
No, it'd have to be either. If that's like, I don't know if you were going to choose Ozzy, but like you either have to choose Ozzy or Black Sabbath.
Okay. Because
Does that answer your
I've
question?
I've gone to concerts before. Like I've gone to a lot of concerts where like
They'll
they'll
do covers
play
of-
they'll play their own stuff that they
Yeah.
did separately. The Eagles do that whenever you go
does,
see them.
So do the One Direction members.
Yeah. So like, they'll play their stuff that was, I'm not surprised. Like
Yeah.
that's part of their hits. Like
I
that's
know. I may or may not have cried when, but that's okay.
What song did you cry to?
Oh, when Harry. So obviously, I've been to a lot of Harry Styles and Niall Horan concerts, and whenever they do covers of One Direction songs that they played in the past, I cry because I'm like, R.I.P. One Direction was gone too soon.
Oh, okay. So that was my question.
Okay,
So that
yeah.
answered my question. My thought is, I think we should put these on. Can we do a poll on Instagram and have people vote?
People
on
vote on who they think is best. Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to vote.
Oh,
but
like 4. But it's
that'll give us a winner at least.
it'll give us a winner hopefully, unless 3 people vote and one person votes for each of us. Then it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah. Okay.
I think that'll be fun. So that'll try to maybe, and
Yeah,
we
I
can
can do
update
that.
people next week and let them know. So,
So I'll have to write down as we go, your guys'. So do you want me to go first?
I think we should let our guest go first.
Let
I
our
think we
guest-
should let
okay.
Carmen go first.
Carmen, I'm going to write down what your festival lineup is so then we can have our listeners vote. So what is your dream festival lineup?
Okay, so 5 artists. So extremely hard.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I
It's
had
so hard.
such a problem with this.
But the one that I landed on is Nora Jones, Willie Nelson, Michael Franti, Michelle Indegecello, and Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
And I have a name for the festival too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you do?
Wow,
Ooh,
okay.
I want to hear it.
Genre weave.
Genre weave.
Because their
Yeah.
styles weave in and out of each other. See?
Okay.
So
I like that.
I was very proud of the name.
Nice. Okay, so what is your argument for these five artists performing together?
Okay. So several of them have performed together already.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have musical relationships. I think that for a festival, you need some movement in the tone and the setting. So these artists, some of them are more upbeat, some of them are more low key, but all of them have the ability to do both of that. And so I think there was an encore necessity, and so I think they could come together to do an encore song together. And some of them have listed each other as influences and such.
Ooh, I like that.
So-
I didn't think about that part of it.
Yeah.
I did think about the encore song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I like
And
that.
I mean, when you think of Michelle Indegecello, I mean, every album is a different genre pretty much. And so she's
I like when
going to be
artists do
able
that.
to weave in and out. Yeah.
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 So-
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, Nick,
Okay.
do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
I can go next.
Okay, go for it.
Every one of these, you're going to be like, yep.
Yep.
But I just, I thought of a name, since Carmen thought of a name too. So this would be called Classical Hoedown Throwdown.
Okay.
Okay, so we started off with a killer act, Dolly.
Yep. That's not
I
surprising.
knew she was going to have to be in yours. That's part of the reason why I did not include her in mine.
I mean, you
Yeah.
you used to have a tire cover on the back of your Jeep that had Dolly
Yeah, my
Parton
Jeep
on
was
it,
named
so-
Dolly.
Yeah,
Shut up,
so-
Kev. So, I mean, you can't have a better opening, happy act to get everyone excited. So, and then followed by Billy Joel,
Okay.
and then followed by Jeannice Thibodeau, who is a French pianist.
Okay.
So,
Piano. Yeah.
yeah.
2 pianos.
And then, and he did a lot of like movie scores as well. So he does some of his own compositions, but also a lot of movie scores. And one was Pride and Prejudice and some other classic films.
Well, that makes more sense.
So he's going to draw in a lot of those, nerds
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Pride and Prejudice. That.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
And then
got it.
followed by Metallica.
Okay.
And then followed by
Very hard.
Beyonce.
Okay.
And so I did my research. I looked at each one of these to see, because they're all very different. They have some overlapping. Some of them, Dolly and Beyonce are very different, but they,
Well, Beyonce just came out with a new album.
Yeah, so
there's a couple Dolly covers.
There's that, and then Billy Joel and the pianist. I mean, that goes hand in hand. That would be a great like dueling pianos song. And then Metallica I threw in because you have to have that kind of classic rock crowd if you're going to draw, some of the key demographics. And so I was debating between a couple different bands, but from what I've read, obviously I don't know them, but they are supposed to be actually really nice people.
Metallica?
Yes.
I've heard that, yeah.
So they would get along. It's not like we're having Motley Crue in there, with a pianist.
They're a little crazy.
Yeah. So I thought that would go really well together because you've got, just like Carmen said it, kind of all the different moods. And I think that they would draw in a lot of different attendees from demographics. So
okay, so
that's my classical hoedown throwdown.
Okay, classical hoedown throwdown. Okay.
All right, Kev.
I don't have a name.
Okay.
Because I have been waffling on this for a couple of days ever since we talked about this. So I'm probably going to give you like what it would be exactly at this moment. So I thought about different things, several different things. I thought about just being the guy that just goes like all the most popular bands and like Elvis and like the Beatles and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So first off, my dueling pianos, I think, beats yours because I'm going Billy Joel and Elton John. I'm going Billy Joel and Elton John because I've seen them do that before.
Yeah,
I was lucky enough to get to see them do dueling pianos, and it is awesome.
Yeah, I almost chose Beethoven, but then I was like, Beethoven would look at Dolly and be like, I don't know why I'm here.
Beethoven would probably look at just about anybody and not know why he's here. Yeah. But, so Elton John and Billy Joel.
That beats me there for my dueling pianos.
Billy Joel and Elton John. Okay. Then, so.
This was hard.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to go with, because all of mine are kind of classic rockish type stuff. So I'm going to go with, I think the Eagles. Because I think they're a wide-ranging, like, a lot of different type. They kind of have different types of music a little bit too.
I don't know, Kev. When we went to that concert, I would think I was the youngest one there, and everyone else looked about the same.
You were the youngest one there, probably. I'm not going to disagree with that, but it was still fun, and I still think they have a lot of. I still think they have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think it was sold out, right? Wasn't it sold out? Yeah.
And then, Def Leppard to get your little like upbeatness going, and. This is going to throw everybody off, but I'm going to go Taylor Swift.
Ow.
And there is a reason for this.
How did I not include that?
There is. I have seen a concert of Taylor Swift performing with Def Leppard. She said that that was the once like they used to do CMT used to do a country crossovers concerts.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
She said once Def Leppard came out with a country-ish album, that's the band that she wanted to perform with because she loves them.
That's a good one.
So I have seen concerts of that. I've seen Billy Joel and Elton John in concert together. The Eagles are the only outlier.
Yeah.
But I think that there's enough there that they would be.
Yeah, they would draw in the British crowd. You'll have to think of a title for the festival and send it to me, and then I'll post it based on all the titles too. But
okay, the title's gonna be a tough one because I don't really.
Well, as soon as you freaking say Taylor Swift, how did I was just thinking of like collaborations, and then I was like, oh, Dolly, Beyonce, they literally just came out with, or Beyonce just,
which is kind of what I did. Like I said, I have seen there is you can watch it on YouTube. I think, hi YouTube. It's Taylor Swift and Def Leppard, which is it's been years ago. It was when she was like, I think still a teenager. So it was before all of her poppy stuff has come out.
Yeah.
So it's more of her country.
I like the including the Willie Nelson in the lineup. He's one of the people that I have not seen that I would be sad if I don't get to see because he does still do a couple shows here and there, not a lot, obviously, but. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have fond memories of listening to his Stardust album at my grandmother's house, smooth, easy listening, and then like him with Asleep at the Wheel and with the Marsalis brothers and Nora. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should make an effort to go see him
Yeah.
too.
I am surprised by how much he does outside of music too, like different, little acting parts and special guest appearances, and
Yeah,
like he's in so much.
He cameos in a lot of things.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just kind of there.
And it's always
When
funny.
he did the whole Farm Aid, festivals to raise money, so he's been active as an activist for several different
Yes, and I love that.
groups.
Yeah. So, Willie Nelson's like,
Yeah.
I'm not a country person, but Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton are kind of ones that kind of almost transcend that, I feel like.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
And even though it never really went away from country.
Yeah.
It still kind of is not, it's different. So I will listen to some Willie Nelson stuff every once in a while, and I'll listen to some Dolly Parton stuff every once in a while for the same.
Oh my God, you listen to Dolly?
Every once in a while. I really like 9 to 5. That's just a fun song.
Is that the only song you listen to?
No, I heard Jolene today. It was on the playlist that I have.
Are those the only two you listen to?
Probably.
Kev.
I mean, I'm not a country person. I've never really listened to Dolly that
She
much.
has other stuff.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
Did you not listen to her classic rock album?
I need to. I haven't. I actually need to do that. I remember that coming out a while back.
Yeah.
I've listened to some of that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
to
I
listen
like
to her doing
it.
that. Just like now, I've got to go look up this Def Leppard doing country because I'm like, first thing that pops into my mind when somebody says Def Leppard is pour some sugar on me.
Yep.
So thinking of them singing country is so far from that.
Yeah.
It's very rock country for sure. I mean, it is,
Like
but
rockabilly type
which
stuff.
Bon Jovi did one like that too years ago. Like did like a rock country album where they did a
Oh,
song
yes.
with.
And
There's
then
so much
Yeah.
crossover in those music genres anyway. So
Yeah. So
it's kind of a
I
natural
remember the
flow.
Bon Jovi one. The Wanted Dead or Alive song, I think was from that album.
yeah, there was I don't remember, but I know they had a couple country-ish albums. So but yeah, I don't know. I think that everybody came up with a good lineup.
I know these are good.
But we shall let, I guess, Instagram decide who the winner is. So go to our Instagram and vote. And
yeah.
I don't. Do you have anything else this week, or was there anything
No.
else you wanted to ask Carmen? Carmen, was there anything else you wanted
to fun facts, do you have anything
talk
else,
about
Carmen?
before we go to fun facts here, real quick?
Well, I could tell you about the blue-footed booby. Have you heard of that bird?
I have heard of that bird, actually.
Did you hear that on your walk this morning?
No. My friends just got back from the Galapagos, and they were sending us pictures, and I became enamored with this bird because those feet are just beautiful.
Yeah.
So then they got back, and they're telling us that apparently the blueness fluctuates depending on the amount of certain nutrients that they have in their system.
Oh, that
So,
makes
like
sense.
when the mama is feeding the babies and stuff, it fluctuates a lot.
Huh. It's kind of like flamingos, I guess.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I think
flamingos.
they eat shrimp.
Yeah, shrimp is the reason they're pink. Eating
What?
shrimp. Yeah, flamingos are white naturally. Whitish
Weird.
gray.
I guess I never knew that.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're a whitish gray color, and when they eat a ton of shrimp, that's their main diet, so that's what makes them pink.
Are shrimp? I guess shrimp are pink.
Yeah, kind of ish.
It must be like a mineral.
Like an orangish pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Interesting.
fun facts. Here we go. There it is. Yeah. So, our terrible sounders. Anyway, Nick, what is your fun fact for the week?
So mine, I chose a dog-inspired fun fact for Carmen.
Okay.
Because a lot of the interests we share, like biking, dogs, things like that. So I chose dogs.
Okay.
So, the most Blue Cross medals for bravery awarded to a single animal is 2, and this is from the Guinness Book of World Records website. So it's 2 earned by a Great Dane called Juliana. She was born in the 1940s in the UK, And her first medal was for nullifying a bomb, which is the nice way of saying she peed on it, and defused the bomb.
Okay.
During
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Blitz in April of 1941. And then the second medal she got was for alerting her owners to a house fire that had broken out in the family shoe shop in 1944. So she got 2 medals of bravery from Britain. Yeah.
Huh.
So was she trained to, as you said, nullify the bomb, or
I
did
don't
she
know.
just happen to do this?
I have no idea.
I'm like, is this how they did it back then?
Also, that seems like a very it seems like a very inefficient bomb if you can just take a wee on it and it's done for. Like,
yeah. I thought that was hilarious, though. Yeah, I don't know the science of it, but yeah, and I first read that on a different website, and then I Googled it because I was like, wait, that can't be true. And it is.
Huh. Okay. Well, my fun fact is me yawning. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So, my fun fact is from I don't know where. Gore-Tex brand? I don't know. It's a blog somewhere. Anyway, so there's a festival, pretty good sized festival every year in Glastonbury, England. Okay, and I'm gonna go fun fact with whatever we're talking about. So festivals.
The festival, yeah.
It started in 1970, the year after Jimi Hendrix died, and the original ticket was €1, which included free milk from the farm. Which I thought was hilarious. And today it brings in there was only about 1,500 people the first year, and today it brings in about 175,000 people each year.
I feel like I've heard of that. I've heard of Glastonbury, I'm sure, because of that.
Yeah, possibly. So
Interesting.
yeah, that's
So
and of
it
course
included free milk.
the first known festival was like the first modern festival that people talk about is Woodstock,
Yeah.
and it was like. I think they said they sold 100,000 tickets, 10,000 tickets, 100,000 tickets, something like that. And like
I love looking at the
600,000
pictures.
people showed up, and
Yeah.
they had to decide whether or not they could build a fence or build the stage because they didn't have time to do both. So, they decided to go with the stage. Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Carmen, did you have any fun facts? Or I know we didn't warn you about this ahead of time, which is probably not the best. Not the best job as
Just
as
the
a
bird
podcast
fact
host.
I had. So
That's a good fact.
That is a
Yeah.
good fact. Okay.
We're just okay at being hosts. We're not the
that
best.
good. No, we're not. We've been doing this for a year and a half. It should be better, but it is what it is. So anyway, Carmen, thank you very
thanks,
much for
Carmen.
coming on. It's been a lot of fun.
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody go vote on our Instagram to let us know which
which festival lineup wins.
you would want to see, or which one you think is best.
Weave.
Yes, Genre Weave is Carmen's. I will come up with a name eventually, but we will we'll update you guys with that next week, and we'll talk to you then.
Bye.